Okie doke. I think we are live. We should be live about now. We should be live. So let's talk about This Guy Trucks. Okay. Josh from This Guy Trucks. He started a YouTube channel and it grew pretty fast. What do I want to do here? What? Yeah, so okay, yeah. So This Guy Trucks. Okay. I want to give his channel a shout out right here before we cover him. This Guy Trucks, Josh. He doesn't like reaction content, so if he finds out about this live stream, he's not going to like it at all. So, when I first came across Josh, This Guy Trucks, I really liked his videos. You know what I mean? And I agreed with some of the things that he said. I think there does need to be like a union in trucking. I think unionization needs to happen in trucking. When you look at, this is something that Josh says. Josh is like far left, which is kind of crazy. You look at him, you would think he's like a redneck or something, you know. And he is, but he's a left-wing redneck, and I guess that's the thing. Like he's hardcore. And I'll get into why I think that's the case. He abandoned his trucking channel and right here with the that's all for now to start a political channel. And that's really what we're going to cover. Let's see why he's no longer talking about trucking and why he's jumping into politics. Let's see.
Hello, hello, everyone. How are you? Sorry, I just kind of bailed on you guys there, didn't I? Well, today we're going to talk about it. Long story short, I've decided to just hang up this channel for now. I'm not taking it down, not taking any videos down or anything like that, but I don't really have anything to add to it at this point. And before you ask, nothing's wrong. There's no crisis going on in my life that's causing me to lash out and act crazy on YouTube, in case that's what you're wondering. There's a lot going on though, but it's nothing like that. As you guys know, I have been pursuing that side channel. I know a lot of you hate it. I know a lot of you do, but it's my opinions on our current politics and all that stuff. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so much that it has taken up basically all of my time. It consumes all of my time listening to information, reading information, figuring out topics. And you know what? It feels like trucking videos used to feel to me. So I'm really
Well, you know, one thing that oh, she left Prime. Oh, good for her, right? I kind of saw that coming. So, one thing that Josh did is he made a lot of enemies in the trucking industry. Um, I guess to an extent, I kind of have that same problem. I have a lot of people that don't like my content. Um, but it seems like Josh, what he does, he gets kind of loke. You know, if you go through his trucking channel, he talks about how you know how he's going to get into a fight on Fuel Island, you know, and let's go to his channel. I think that's because Josh likes to run his mouth, right? He has a big mouth, and yeah, dude, like someone tried to delete his channel. I think he was even in a situation where he was working for a trucking company, and because he had so many haters on YouTube, someone called in and like made up some lies about him, and he got fired. Now I don't know this to be a fact, but I've people have told me this in live streams that I've done before about Josh, and yeah, um, one thing about Josh that I've learned from watching his channel, we could go through all of these, and pretty much what Josh does, um, is Josh makes a lot of bad life decisions for what he has going on, you know. And Josh is one of those people that, he claims that Trump supporters, blame everyone else for their problems, which a lot of them do, but so does he, right? Josh blames like big corporations and, big trucking companies on why they're the problem with trucking and all that. But what I don't really hear Josh saying in his videos are the mistakes that he made in his life. And look, um, I think I've said it plenty of times, you know, the reason why I'm in trucking and the reason why I didn't go to college, and why I'm in the position that I'm at right now in my life is because when I was younger, I made a lot of dumb decisions. When I was a teen, I was a criminal, up into like 21, 22, you know, and then even though I stopped associating with those type of people, I was still kind of just like I always worked. When I was in my 20s, I always worked, but I was still like a stoner. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really to get like all the way clean to let go of like, smoking and shit. So because of that, I was only eligible to work shitty jobs where they hire stoners all the way up until the age of like 29, damn near, right? 26, like 20. When did I got my CDL when I was 29. So yeah, up until like 28, because I got clean in 20 when I was 28 years old, during the lockdown. And you know, the reason why I'm a truck driver and why I'm in the position where I am in life right now is because of my dumb ass. It's because of me. I've never heard Josh, with all his bitching and complaining, I've never heard Josh once say that, maybe I shouldn't have had all these kids. Maybe because I have all these kids, maybe I should get off of the road and go home and work a local job, right? He could be a hostler, a yard dog. He could do local trucking. But no, instead, what Josh does, Josh runs OTR and he complains when he doesn't get home time. And then he's made a few videos talking about how he missed out on the past 10 years of watching his kids grow up, how he's pretty much been an absent father. And he gets really mad when he doesn't get his home time. Josh, you shouldn't be doing OTR. You need to go home and be with your kids. You need to fucking get off of the road. You need to go home. And I'm pretty sure if you've missed the past 10 years of seeing your kids grow up, let's say that's from age 1 to 10. I'm pretty sure they're getting to the age where, yeah, when they're babies like that, they need their mom. But as they get older, they definitely need their dad. And for you just to ditch them like that, I think that's really fucked up. I think that's really selfish of you. And look, remember that kid, Elliot Rodger, the famous like incel from Santa Barbara that shot up the college or whatever? His dad was a lot like Josh, an absent father that just gave the kid money and that's it. Besides that, he was pretty much just a absent father. Gave the kid, paid for his college tuition, bought him a nice car, clothes, an allowance, which was probably a really nice allowance because his dad was like a director on, I think, Hunger Games or some shit. And what happened? The kid ended up having a lot of problems that the dad just wasn't around for. Very absent father, pretty much chose work over being present in the kid's life. When you have kids, I've said this before, when you have kids, you don't need to be out here running OTR. And if you feel like trucking is taking up too much time away from you being a dad, yeah, maybe you should get out of the industry. If I had hella kids, let's say I took a year, right? And I got all these women pregnant and I had all kind of kids running around. You think I'd be out here running around in the truck? Do you think that? No, dude. I for sure, like, maybe if I had to like lay over one night and it was like my job right now, I guess I can do it, but it doesn't pay that much, right? What I would do with my CDL is I'd become like a garbage truck driver, a hostler, some local job, you know, but I'd have to be real picky with that local job because I wouldn't want to be away from my family like too much. I'd probably get out of trucking altogether and join the construction union or something, and just work it out until I hit apprentice, until I start making a lot of money. But you know what? Um, I don't have to worry about that. That's one thing that I never did. Okay. I never had kids before I was financially able to take care of them. And I don't know, I guess Josh did, you know? So now it's Trump's fault. Now it's the trucking company's fault. Now it's everyone's fault. And one thing that you'll see about Josh is Josh, like, why I titled this live stream "The Miserable Life of This Guy Trucks" is because a lot of his videos, he just has this miserable like vibe about himself that he just gets on here and he just bitching and bitching and bitching. Like, look, you guys think I'm lying? Let's let's just click on a random video. Check out the vibe.
Today was out of, I've been here 3 weeks, so out of 21 days, one of them gets fucked up. Hell, that's not too bad. That's not the worst statistics in trucking that I've ever fucking heard. With all that said, I do want to move on to sort of another thing that I have, you guys know that have been around for a long time, that I've been struggling with mightily as a YouTube content creator, and a damn good looking one, and a very, very successful one. there's a thing that I've been struggling with, and this is another point in the video where I just need you to hear me out before you think that I'm whining or whatever. I need you to hear the steps I've taken to sort of help myself with these things. As you guys know, I am a very sensitive and emotional man-child sometimes, and then I get very offended when people go make videos about me, right? I get real upset. That guy said all this crazy shit about me, and that guy said all that.
That's some ownership. He really does. I give him some props for that. He gets really mad when people make even reaction content about other YouTubers. Right? He did that. He did that on my channel.
And I feel the need to defend myself. You guys have watched me repeat that pattern over and over and over for years, right? And I've always tried to find a way to just sort of break out of that and stop fucking paying attention to it, because we all know what the fuck it is. We all know what it is. It's a little bit of clout chasing. It's a little bit of envy. It's a little bit of, you know, if I drop that guy's name that gets some views on his videos, then I'll do. We all know what the fuck it is. And it is as pathetic as it looks. We all fucking get it.
No, it's not. It's actually just reaction content. By your metrics and by what you're saying, SS Sniper Wolf wouldn't be a thing. Abba and Preach wouldn't be a thing. Shit. Who's the guy? John Bravo wouldn't be a thing, right? By your by what you're saying, Josh, is that reaction channels, which make up a big portion of YouTube, wouldn't be a thing if this was Josh's world. You know, thank God it's not.
Right. And I have really been trying to like just come to terms with, as long as I'm this guy Trucks, there are going to be people that make videos about me. And that's just the fucking reality of it. And I really started to evaluate the things like, what are really the complaints? What am I doing that's so goddamn offensive here on YouTube that gets people so fired up? And I went back. I kind of tortured myself a little bit. I went back through some of these videos, and I really listened to what the people had to say, because I'm a man of the people, and I wanted to see, is there any validity to the things that are going on, these horrible things that make this guy Trucks such a pain in the ass. And here's where a sort of breaking point in my head happened. I hope you're still listening and not thinking I'm whining about this, because this is good news. All right,
let's hear it.
This good news for my mental health. I'm trying to be better over here, all right? But I was listening to a very, very angry Texan, and what did I ever do to a goddamn Texan to make them mad at me? It's not like I've ever talked crazy shit about Texans in my life. I've never done that. That's fucking crazy.
Yes, he made a video talking shit about Texans.
But there was this very angry Texan, and he was just rambling. I couldn't understand. His mouth must have been full of chew or something. I'm not really sure. But I was able to point out one part of his video where he said, and I noticed that this guy Trucks is using the color red on his borders now for his thumbnails. And I waited for the point to come after that. Oh no, what scandal is this? What does the color red mean on the thumbnail, on the border? I'm not really sure. And it turns out there was no follow-up point. That was the fucking point. And what I learned from that is, oh, Texan's just learning his colors. Well, we can help him out. You know, I'm over here donating part of my earnings to charity here on YouTube. I can also do other things to help other people out. So I decided I'm going to challenge the guy a little bit, and I'm going to start using a purple border, blue. Oh, we're going to put some blue in there, baby. We're going to get some turquoise. Yeah, we're going to get into those tough colors. Getting his.
This was also like a bad video to click on. This kind of sounds like he's been smoking like crystal or something. This sounds like a drug rant, you know? But very few of his videos are like positive. Let's see.
They're really pissed.
And all of this is going to go into what he's doing now. What the fuck?
The internet, huh, my friends? How about the internet? It's just the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? For a guy like me, it is. That's for sure, because I need it. That's how I'm able to go off on these wild tangents. That is probably going to happen in this video. Without the internet, what would motivate me to do such crazy things? I just don't know. I've always said, my friends, that the internet is possibly the greatest invention in the history of mankind. Think about it. We can instantly connect with people around.
Yeah, I think I know he has an alcohol problem, and that could be what this is, but if you were to tell me that he was once on drugs like crystal, I would definitely believe it.
On the world, we can get information, we can do our banking, we can do everything. I don't even know how we survived as a species before the internet came along. But the internet, the greatest thing that was ever invented, right up until the point that people started using it. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, people kind of messed that up, and that is sort of a human thing to do, isn't it? We see something, we find something, and it's real nice, and then we go and mess the whole damn thing up. Especially us white guys, we see something that looks really good, we're gonna go colonize that shit. That's what we're gonna do. I don't know.
There goes his politics.
Why? That's just the history we have. I probably wouldn't be very good at colonizing things, but that's just kind of a thing we do, isn't it?
He has white guilt. That's one thing about liberals. Liberals have this white guilt. One thing, especially since we're covering Josh, one thing that white liberals, what they don't understand is that, when it really comes down to it, when you dissect the white liberal, they're just as racist as like a neo-Nazi. They are. They're the same thing. They're literally the same thing, just the other side of the coin, heads and tails. On the right, on the far right, you have like far right neo Nazis, like not people who wear a Trump hat and are Trump supporters. I'm not calling Trump supporters neo Nazis because the word Nazi by the left has been just used, so much by people that are just childish on the left. If you don't agree with what they say, you're a Nazi, even if you're like some gay black dude, but you believe in like having like a border wall, then they'll call you a Nazi, even if you're like a gay black guy. You know what I mean? Um, so now I'm talking about like on the far right, there are still to this day real life neo Nazis, KKK members. Okay. What Josh doesn't understand, and what a lot of these white liberals don't understand, is because we can't cover this guy trucks without covering politics, because this is what his new channel is all about. And we're going to get into that right now. Because white liberals, like this white guilt, this whole thing of them believing in white privilege, because that's where it comes from. Like a few years ago, I haven't heard them say it too much like nowadays, but like this whole like check your privilege, know your privilege, and all that. White liberals really believe that they have white privilege, and what they really mean in their heart. Because if you tell them they don't have white privilege and it's all bullshit, it's just in their head because they're so obsessed with race because they're racist people, they'll get really mad to the point where they'll start like shouting at you and like they'll lose their shit if you tell them that they don't have privilege. What white privilege really means from a white liberal is they think that they're actually like better than you. It's not that they think that they have privilege. It's not. They think um they like having that privilege. You know what I mean? They think like they're actually better than you. That's what it is. That's where this whole thing comes from, where you have white liberals wearing Black Lives Matter shirts, right? like in Trump's first term, the whole kids in cages, like with the ICE detention centers and shit, why you had like all these white liberals talking about kids in cages and all that, and how white liberals think they need to stand in the corner of black people, Mexicans, people who aren't white. I mean, like, and even gay people, like they all try to lump people that aren't white into like these victim groups. The reason why that happens is because these white liberals, they feel guilty for being white because they really think that they're better than all those people, and they think they need to go stand in the corners of like Black Lives Matter and illegal immigrants and all that, right? Illegal aliens. They need to go stand up for them because those Mexicans, black people, whoever it is, gay people, whatever, they're too weak to stand up on their own. So they need the white savior liberal to come in on the white horse and come and save them. You know who else believes in white privilege? Neo-Nazis, the KKK. So you have like people who believe in white privilege on the left. They're in total agreement with the people in the KKK on the other side. They're all a bunch of fucking racist people, all of them, And that's what people like Josh don't really understand. That if they really felt that way, it'd be best for them just to shut the fuck up, just to shut up about it. You know what I mean? But they can't. They can't. They need to let you know that they're better than you, because that's where this white liberalism comes from. It's no different than these hardcore, like the hardcore Trump supporters. A lot of Trump supporters that are like hardcore Trump supporters, fuck yeah, a lot of them are racist. Hell yeah, they are. You know, it's just so funny, dude. Like this whole, because they always bring up them colonizing shit and all that. That's the white guilt right there, right? Just a coincidence that the woke narrative was pushed heavy after the '08 collapse. What we really have in this world is, um, I don't know too much about those people. You know, I guess if you talk about them, they take down your YouTube channel. So maybe, um, we'll watch a little bit more of this, then we'll get into his new channel.
Yeah, it kind of is. My wife calls me a colonizer all the time because she's brown. It's a twisted sense of humor that we have, so it's not offensive to me. I think it's fucking funny. I went home a couple days ago, and as I was getting in the car, she's sitting in the driver's seat shouting, "The British are coming!" Yeah, it was funny as fuck. It made me laugh. But yeah,
Dude, I could never be married to someone who's like hardcore political. Whether it's like hardcore political left or right, whether they're conservative or liberal. If they were like hardcore political, I could never shack up with someone like that, dude. That shit would fucking annoy the fuck out of me, dude.
us white guys, we see something over there. Oh, they got beautiful, clean rivers, running water, mountains. God, just this beautiful, pristine land. And we think this isn't right. There ain't a single Starbucks over there. That water's not polluted, full of garbage and sewage. We don't like this. And how are the locals of that place even? I mean, I don't understand how they live. How are they going to get a second mortgage if they don't even have a first mortgage? We've got to solve this problem. Yeah, we're real sweethearts, aren't we? We really get weird.
Okay, so with that being said, we might as well go back to that last video. But you guys see how, what I'm talking about. Does any of this shit sound positive? No, especially because another thing that Josh does, you go through his YouTube channel and you'll see he talks a lot of shit about trucking companies, a lot, right? And pretty much his thing, what he does, I don't know if he's still at Trekker. That was the last carrier that he was like leased on with. He's a lease operator. Is he goes from company to company collecting like the sign-on bonuses. He stays there long enough to be eligible for the sign-on bonus, and then that's usually when he starts looking for another job. That or when he gets into it with the dispatchers over there so bad that usually over his home time or something that he leaves, and he he doesn't need to be out here trucking. you know let's go back to this one. If he's worried about home time, he needs to go home and be with his
So
kids.
I'm really having a good time.
If, like I said, if he's worried about home time so much, then he needs to go home and just be with his kids. Most women have zero care for politics. Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Like not just women, but most people don't really give a fuck about this shit. Politically, it's healthy to be somewhere in the middle. Once you're far left or far right, you know what happens? You start sounding like an idiot. You do.
I'm over there. Um, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the last few months I've really been struggling with content having to do with trucking. And what I don't want to do is put out a bunch of shitty forced videos, hoping you guys will watch them, and then wondering why my channel is going downhill and why everything sucks. And the fact of the matter is, hey, if you don't have passion for something, if you're not really interested in something anymore, your audience is going to know. And that's just kind of where I'm at with shit right now. I'm not interested in talking about fucking trucking anymore. I've been talking about it for
Yeah, me neither. Like I'm bored with this fucking topic. You guys know that, but I guess I could still use this to live stream.
nearly 10 years. And maybe it's a midlife crisis. I don't know. But eventually I got to start looking at something else. Now, I ain't going anywhere. I'm still at Trekker. I'll probably be at Trekker for the foreseeable future for quite a while. So if you still want to go to Trekker, put my referral code on there and get me some damn money, because honestly, it is a good company. If you get out here and work hard, you shouldn't have any problem clearing $2,000. I'd say at least every other week.
Um, it's a good company because he wants your sign-on bonus. And it's probably a good company because as much as he's like job hopped, he probably can't get on anywhere, you know. You guys think I'm bad with job hopping? I ain't got shit on Josh.
That 70-hour clock kind of fucks you every other week too. But I just did it today. So no, it's a good company. So if you do want to come to Trekker, I'll still be here for quite some time. But yeah, I've been really interested in my other channel, and I'm not finding the time to do this. I'm not finding the interest to do this. So the other channel, I'll tell you guys about it again real quick. It's about politics. And there is a lot wrong in the world right now. I'm not going to bore you with the politics here on this channel. I can bore you to death over there if you'd like.
What's wrong, Josh? What's wrong? You know what's wrong, dude? People who go on and on and on about politics, one thing that I've noticed about political people is most of them are miserable as fuck. I've been around far right people, I've been around far left people. Most of them are not happy people. That or they're just bored and they have nothing to do besides just sit in front of the TV and rot in front of Fox News or CNN. And then because they have nothing going on in their life, because they're such an empty vessel, they end up, becoming like a hardcore right winger or a hardcore liberal, you know. And we definitely see that with Josh. He's not a happy, like he just, I don't want to make fun of him, but Josh, he's not a happy person at all. But I think a lot of that is his own doing. Like what I said earlier, one thing that I don't see Josh doing is taking accountability for his own actions. No one told him to have all these kids that he can't afford. No one told him to be an OTR truck driver. You know, it's like he's self sabotaging his life, right? What he should do, what he needs to do, is get off of the road and go home. And then I think if he gets off of the road and like he goes home and he stops living online like this, the next YouTube channel that he could make would actually be like a positive YouTube channel, But one thing about YouTube is positivity doesn't really get a lot of views. It does. I guess Alex Nino gets a lot of positivity, but what it really is with like these positive YouTubers like Alex Nino, um, and people like that, like with him specifically. But I could think about other YouTubers and other niches, like a lot of the van life YouTubers. I do watch a lot of van life content. What they do, one way to grow on YouTube is to emotionally manipulate the audience, is to get your audience emotionally invested in your content to where they feel like they have somewhat of a real relationship with you. And this is why people put on their families, their spouses, their pets. Like if I had a dog, a part of my vlogs, my views would go up so much just because of a dog, because it's not just me. If I showed every time like I would go on a date with a chick, like if I vlogged it, it would go up, you know? And this whole thing with like these YouTubers being so like all the time, they're always happy. They're always like super positive. You know what I mean? A lot of what that is them manipulating you emotionally. You know what I mean? Like they want you to feel like this warm, fuzzy feeling around them. And then what do? Once they get you hooked, like Alex Nino, once he gets you hooked onto his channel, because he's such like a positive, like he's such a positive truck driver and he's such a positive like role model and dad and all that. What does he do? Hey guys, so today's sponsor is this. Today's sponsor is that. He tries to sell you shit, right? Let me say something, right? If I ever become like a million plus subscriber, at that point, honestly, it sounds like a dick thing to say, but honestly, at that point, everyone just becomes a number because there's too many fucking people for me to actually like have a genuine, you know what I mean, like kind of like a semi internet relationship with, like how I talk to my subscribers in the comments. If I hit a million subscribers, that all goes away. You're just another number, you know? So what Josh is doing by being like really negative on YouTube, I'll give him some credit that it's real, you know, and he's being genuine. Josh, this guy Trucks, in my opinion, he's a lot more real and he's a lot more genuine than Alex Nino. Way more real than Alex Nino. We're seeing in real life a miserable truck driver, and people love that shit, you know? Look, we're doing a reaction to it right now.
To go over. But there's a lot wrong in the world right now, in my opinion. And the things wrong in the world depend on people to shut the fuck up, keep their mouths closed, which also means shut the fuck up, and fall in line and do what you're told. Have you guys been paying attention? That ain't me, baby. I'm not that kind of guy, and I ain't about to bow down. I'm not going to. So that's kind of where we're at with that project. I won't go on and on for 30 minutes with this. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up. I want to thank you guys for giving me if you want to come over to the new channel, please feel free. One thing about the channel though, I know that a lot of truckers are going to disagree with my political views, and I think that's okay. I mean, that's not the worst thing ever. I can't convert you. I can't tell you about like talk you into it and all that. But I just want to let you know if you're coming over there because you want to like berate me and bully me and threaten me and harass me and try to get me to fall in line, it's going to be a great waste of your time to do something like that. If you want to come over, enjoy the videos, add to the conversation, hate the videos and add to the conversation, that is all fine and good too. But the point I was trying to make was
If you go over there disagreeing with him, he's most likely going to block you, right?
I want to thank you guys. We've been doing this for a lot of years between this channel and the old This Guy Trucks channel. And I went from a person that was very scared of the camera, nervous about what to say. And I have been through it all on YouTube, baby. We've seen it all. We've seen like some really good times, of course. Of course, we've seen some really good times, but the doxing, the threats, the stalking, the harassment, all those things. And I'm so damn proud of myself, baby. I never backed. Well, I backed down once, and then I got my shit together, and and I came back and I did it all over again. And look, every part of this journey, every part of this guy Trucks journey for all these years has been fucking so important because now I can go into this new channel completely fucking fearless and just say what's on my mind. And don't worry, I'll find my people. I will. Look. I was able to do, tens of millions of views in trucking content. Baby, I'm going to light the world on fire with political content. That's not a threat. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I could see it. And with that being said, let's go over. But you know what? No, let's finish this because he said some stuff in this video that I want to react to. Yeah, he's a really successful YouTuber. Josh has a gift, and why Josh is able to upload so much more content than I am is my vlogs. When I do upload like an actual video, I like to edit it like a vlog. I try to make it. What the hell is that noise, dude? I don't know. My truck's making a noise. Is that the inverter? I have no idea. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my truck. One thing that Josh does is he just turns on the camera and just talks, Alex Jones style. And he just starts the video and ends it. And that's it. No editing at all. When you do that, hell yeah, dude, you could upload hella content and grow a channel really fast, right? So I do give him props for that, right? Got to give it to him. He knows how to get an audience. Oh yeah, he does. But one thing that Josh did is he made a lot of enemies in the trucking space. A lot, by talking a lot of shit or whatever. Enough for him to say that, like he would always bring up fights on Fuel Island, like fights on Fuel Island and shit. And sometimes myself, like, I kind of watch my back because I know sometimes, like, what I don't think is offensive, somebody else is going to get really offended by, you know? But I don't think I'm as bad as Josh. I really don't think I am. I'll talk shit in the comments or whatever, especially when people like talk shit first, right? Like I like what you give me, I give it to you right back. But one reason why I think Josh is leaving the trucking space is because he's more of like a liberal. He's more on the left, and trucking is more right wing, And when he says stuff like when he would bring up his politics on the trucking channel, like talking about how white guys are colonizers or whatever, I'm pretty sure his comment section will light him up for that, you know? So it probably made him feel uncomfortable being in the trucking space on YouTube. So he said, you know what? Well, fuck it. I'm just going to be who I am. It's just like this far left liberal, and started his new channel. You come off like a miserable trucker. I think a lot don't care for it. Have you kept up with the prime driver Vito? He's fucked 5K in the hole, fired and no CDL. Ooh, I guess we could check that out before we leave. Got to give it to him. He knows how to make a. No idea why he doesn't go local LTL or hazmat tanker. Does he not have any endorsements? I don't know if he has endorsements or not. I don't know. I don't think he does have endorsements. Matter of fact, I think I watched a video of his where he doesn't have endorsements. He just has a straight CDL.
We're going places with that. We're going places with that. And it's been such a cool feeling. A lot of different I guess emotions for me going through it. As you guys know, I complain a lot. That's been the whole thing for years. But a thing I complain a lot is waking up with like absolutely crippling anxiety, like hiding under my blankets, fucking chest fucking feeling like it's turning inside out, and just afraid to get up and deal with the world that day. Since I switched to this other channel, listen, guys, I've been excited to get up. I haven't had a bit of anxiety getting up every morning, because even if you disagree with what I'm saying over there, I know I'm doing the right fucking thing. I'm speaking up. And that's what's important right now. That's what matters. That's an important fucking thing to do.
He's being the white savior. That's what he means. You see how racist these fucking people are? Like it's in their heart. Like the white man just has to come save you. That's how these liberals are, dude. It's crazy. It's nuts, dude.
I'm speaking up, and I feel so goddamn good about it that I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna keep doing it. But that anxiety that I was getting, my friends, I don't know that anxiety can kill you, like give you a heart attack or something, but I was close. Whatever that shit was doing to me was going to cause medical issues, and it definitely was causing mental issues.
I could see that. One thing about these white liberals, and I'm saying this because this is what he is. Once we watch his actual political channel, you'll definitely see how far left Josh is. Fucking, they think they need to stand up for black people, for Mexicans, for people who aren't white, because they think we all think the same. They think that we're all the exact same person, and we're not. Politics, no matter what race you're talking about, whether you're talking about black people, the Chinitos, the Middle Easterns, the, Mexicans or whoever, all of these races, Asians, no matter who you're talking about, right? I already said Asians, the Chinitos, right? Um, they all believe different political shit. At the end of the day, they're just people, right? They have conservative people in their family and far left people in their family. And when they get together and they start talking politics, they might get into a little bit of an argument over it. But no, no, no. But these white liberals like Josh, they all think that we're on the left. They all think that we hate Trump. They all think that we're victims. You see what I'm talking about? To the point where Josh was getting so much anxiety, but now since he's the white savior on YouTube, oh, he feels so much better because he's standing up for us. Like we asked him to stand up for us in the first fucking place.
And it was really, really fucking up a lot of things. And since I've stepped away from this channel, I mean, I haven't. You guys know that I used to bitch and complain about like there's YouTube trucking drama. Isn't that the goofiest fucking thing you've ever heard? Well, I would sit here and listen to these guys, even if it was about me or wasn't about me, and just listening to them, just run each other into the ground, run me into the ground. But like I said, it wasn't always about me. Like just took my head to fucking dark places, man. So with what I've been doing, I've been so busy like trying to take in information, trying to learn.
Oh, that means this stream is gonna really fuck with him.
Everything that I possibly can so that I feel like I'm somewhat informed going into my videos over there. I haven't listened to a grown man bitch, whine, complain, cry, or nothing about anything I've said recently because I don't fucking know. I have no idea what's going on with any of that. And it's such a great feeling. I finally broke free of all of it. I finally found my way out. And I'm going to go over there, over yonder to that channel. And I'm going to do that. You're all welcome to join me. You are, but no hard feelings if you don't. I understand. I'm starting from scratch over there, but I think it's going to grow very, very fast in comparison to what a trucking channel will ever do. Since I ain't got tits, my friend. So that's how it's gonna go. So I hope this video makes sense. I know I was kind of all over the place, but eventually I've got to start thinking beyond trucking. I refuse to go down, and like I said, I'll be here for the foreseeable future. I plan to run for Trekker until I don't have to drive a truck anymore, and we'll see how that plays out. But I have got to figure out a life after this at some point, and I've got to figure out what that is because
go home, get off of the road, go home. You have a CDL, you have hell of experience. Go home and be a garbage truck driver. Start applying now. You've been out here for years, dude. You're complaining about how you haven't seen your kids grow up. But you know what trucking does? In the truck, it gives you like a YouTube workspace. So if I get like a local trucking job, it's definitely going to take away from the type of content. It's definitely going to change the type of content that I do. Because as of right now, this is my studio. I don't have a place of my own because I can't fucking afford it right now on this salary. It is what it is. I can complain about it all day, but it is what it is. It works for now. But go home. Go home, dude. You don't have to wait until you retire. Josh is going to drive this truck until he's dead. He's not going to retire because there's not a lot of money in OTR. There's just not, especially in the lease operator side. There's not. This is why it keeps going from job to job to job to job, dude. And this whole like political thing, it's what people do when they make a lot of bad decisions in life and they don't own up to it. They start blaming the man, right? It's Trump's fault. It's the government's fault, right? It's the mega carrier's fault, you know? And people on all political sides do this. Liberals, conservatives, a lot of people blame other people for their shit,
I'm getting to that age, my friends, where I don't want to be the trucker that spent the rest of their life in a truck only to die in the goddamn sleeper.
Go home, Josh, because that's exactly what's going to happen if you stay out there. You're going to die in the truck. Go the fuck home. You have kids. What the fuck are you doing out here, dude? Go home.
They just clean you out of the truck and they put a new driver in. And I don't know how to explain it. I want to have left my mark, if that makes sense. I want to go out as someone that was memorable. I don't know if that makes sense. I want to fight, like I want to stand up and fight for what I think's right and wrong in the world. Um, and I have got one hell of a journey in front of me with that other channel and whatever comes from it.
You see how his priorities are all fucked up? So he wants to stand up and be the white savior, white liberal, but he has kids at home that he's an absent father. So Josh would rather be a YouTube, like the next Destiny, right? The next like far left political YouTube influencer or whatever. He'd rather do that than go home and raise his kids, than go home and be with his wife, right? He has a CDL. With all the experience that he has, and especially that he's not, I don't know where he lives, but I'm pretty sure he's not in a fucked up market like me in Northern California. I don't know whether he lives in Texas. I think he said he lives in Colorado or whatever. If he lives in Denver, I'm pretty sure a lot of freight comes out of Denver, right? People go in there from the Rockies all day. That's like a main route, right? I'm pretty sure he'd be able to get something local right there in town. But no. Instead of going home and raising his kids, Josh would rather be a political YouTuber, right? It's just so fucking crazy, dude. He'd rather save the world before he raises his kids.
It's in my 40s, one of the most exciting times of my life, my friends. Um, and I guess
that is nuts, dude. You see how miserable Josh is? Like, you gotta be so fucking miserable in life where you're like really excited to become like a political like YouTuber. Like, yeah, dude, I'm excited to I'm excited to do YouTube. Yeah, I love being a YouTuber. You know, the niche that I'm in, trucking, I'm kind of bored with it, you know, but like, dude, there's other things in life that excite me, especially like if I had kids. Like, what I'm trying to get at is Josh, his priorities are so fucked up, dude. He has a whole ass family at home. Look, I know a guy. I know a guy, right? Not me, but I'm thinking of someone right now, like a good friend of mine who had this same thing. He had this dad that was like an OTR trucker and was like pretty much an absent father, was like never around. And then he ended up kind of resenting him for it. Like, motherfucker, like you chose to be out there, like you were never around. Like, get the fuck out, you know? You know? Oh shit. I gotta go to the other page.
that's really it. So thank you to everyone who has given this weird little redneck that was terrified to be on camera years ago, and it has given me a chance and allowed me to break out of my shell and find my place in the world. You guys have been instrumental in doing that. I learned how to be a YouTuber over here, entertaining you guys, talking about trucking. Um, I don't always like how YouTube goes. I don't always like the shitty attitudes you get from people, but that's the nature of the beast. But I learned from years and years of hanging out with you guys, making you guys laugh, hopefully, and getting you through your days. And for the new truckers, you know, there were a few times you guys pissed me off for you young truckers. But one of the things I always take pride in is I didn't run you into the ground. I didn't make you feel like shit because you were just a young person trying to get a job so you could take care of yourself and your family. I hope that the videos I put out for you over the years are going to help you or have helped you in your future trucking career with whatever it is you do. And it's not even about the teaching stuff. Like everything about trucking can be learned. The trucking lifestyle, baby. That's what I taught you. All right. I taught you fucking even when shit's going to hell out here. Everything fucking sucks. You ain't making no money. Everything's gone to hell. There's still shit to laugh about. There's still shit to have fun with trucking, even when everything about it fucking sucks. And that's the biggest hurdle of trucking. So, with all that said, I can't thank you guys enough for giving me the chance you did. I'm gonna take all that, everything I've learned from you guys, and I'm gonna take that over to my new channel, and I'm gonna work my ass off like you guys know I do, and we're gonna run. We're gonna run like hell over there and see how it turns out. And with that said, if you do go over to that channel, like I said, you're welcome to join in the conversation. You are welcome to disagree with me. I got a lot of people over there that disagree with me. If you're acting like a complete irrational shithead, I'll do what I do here and show you the door, because that's what I do.
So childish. And with that being said, let's go to his other channel. So this is his political channel, right? The Enemy from Within. And it's pretty much all about, like he's far left. Beta boys on the right. Stop voting against yourself. They are lying to you. This is Trump's economy. I'm done with the NFL. Democrats standing up for America. Elon, you're scaring the Americans. He doesn't know what he's doing. The world is paying attention. This is what you voted for. It's never Donald's fault. Standing in his way. He's an incompetent failure. So let's go to his latest video. Talking about Trump. That's pretty much what the left has become, is just talking shit about Trump.
My friends, how
let's
are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Always good to see you for yet another video. So today, my friends, we have absolutely tragic news, possibly the saddest story ever told on YouTube. So I hope you're sitting down. I hope you have a Kleenex or a tissue with you so you can dry your tears, because I'm about to tell you the saddest story that's ever existed in the history of the internet. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Here we go. My friends, we have greatly offended MAGA once again. Oh, they're here, baby, and they are real mad at us. And they are real upset because we have come together as a community. We've made our voices heard. We've stood up for ourselves. We've stood up for what's right instead of what's standing up for wrong. And that's really frustrating to MAGA out there, because they're finally starting to realize maybe we're a little bit of a threat to their fascism. And that's really starting to bother them. And I don't mean me.
Fascism. Let's get the definition of fascism, okay? Because what the left has done is they've just gotten really childish, and they've taken these like extreme words and kind of hurled it at people that don't agree with them politically. All right, so what is the definition of fascism? Oh, so even Google. I mean, well, look, Google is in the Silicon Valley. The Bay Area, the Bay Area is more left than Los Angeles, So this is fascism is a far right, authoritarian, and ultra nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of the opposition. What is fascism in simple terms? So fascism is far right, if cultism was a person. Yeah, dude, I know. Like, dude, what the fuck is that noise? Oh, shit. My dumb ass. I had the key. Oh, God. I had the key like in the on position. Dude, I'm so fucking stupid. God damn, dude, I'm a retard. Hold on. Let me make sure some. Hold up real quick. I'm so fucking dumb, dude. I just wanted to make sure I didn't drain the battery. Holy shit, dude. That's the cool thing about being a company driver. You don't got to worry about, fucking up your own truck. It's the company's truck. So according to Google, and Google is biased. We're going to call it for what it is. Google Tech, they have a lot of liberal people working for them. It's in the Silicon Valley. I grew up in the Silicon Valley in the Bay Area, and I know of where I speak. Okay, so fascism is a far right form of government where most of the country's power is held by one ruler or a small group under one party. So, that being said, I guess that's the definition of fascism, right? I'm willing to bet it's not just far right, because wouldn't it be fascism if it was far left, right? I'm willing to bet, that this same, so pretty much what they're talking about, like a dictatorship, you know, where it's like one party rule. So in their own definition, but you notice how they say it's far right. In their own definition, California is a fascist state because California is one party rule. California is really dictatorial. When Gavin Newsom taxes the gas pump, we don't get to vote on it. What was it, Jerry Brown or Joe Brown, the governor before him of California? When he imposed the gas tax and signed it into law, we didn't get to vote on it. When they raise the the price to register your car at the DMV, when Sacramento does that, we don't get to vote on it. We don't get to vote on these things for the most part. They just sign it into law, and there's not a lot of Republicans in Sacramento, like in the state house, and we're probably never gonna like not end up with like a full Democratic rule. In most of the big cities, it's all Democrat. You know what I mean? This is a far left blue state for the most part, right? There are some very conservative areas in California. So, by the left's definition, this is their definition of fascism. This is Josh's definition of fascism. Fascism is a far right, authoritarian, and ultra nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, militarism, militar, militarism. Okay, I'm fucking stupid. I can't read. Forcible suppression of the opposition. Okay. Um, I guess ultra nationalist political ideology. I mean, I've heard them chant USA, USA at the Kamala rally too, right? Especially when she accepted her nominee to run as president. They were going off saying USA, USA. So I guess, they're nationalists. They like being Americans. So fascism is a dictatorship. I don't think we have a dictatorship. I think most people voted for Trump, and I think that's what happened. Just like in the last election, it was kind of funny, how they stopped counting the votes. I think a lot of that had to do with the mail-in ballots because of 2020, you know. It made a lot of people question it, but looking back on it, yeah, Trump probably lost, He probably lost fair and square. So I think as of now, the country voted and the left doesn't like it. So people on the left, they're kicking and screaming like immature children. And people like Josh say we live under fascism now. Even though you got the freedom to do damn near whatever you want. I think if this was a real fascist country, your freedoms would be really restricted, like China. I'm pretty sure China is a fascist country. They're a communist dictatorship.
I mean, we collectively. First of all, huge congratulations to the Midas Touch Network, who has dethroned Joe Rogan last month as the most listened to podcast in the world.
What did he say? Who dethroned Joe Rogan?
Touch Network, who has, first of all, huge congratulations to the Midas Touch Network, who has dethroned Joe Rogan last month as the most listened to podcast in the world.
Okay. Is that true? The Midas Touch Network, most listened to podcast in the world, surpassing Joe Rogan. What the hell is the Midas Touch Network, and why has it surpassed Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan dethroned by anti-Trump podcast in the charts. Trump hating podcast, the Midas Touch surpasses Joe Rogan. I'm gonna call bullshit. Daily Beast, MSN. I'm gonna call bullshit on this, you know. And here's the thing. You know why I'm gonna call bullshit? Because Joe Rogan's podcast is not really a political podcast. He talks about politics, and yeah, Joe Rogan has gone more to the right, but Joe Rogan has a lot of people on his show. He has like a lot of comedians, MMA fighters, celebrities, all kind of shit, you know, people that are into like aliens and just people with interesting stories. I don't think fucking um a podcast that's anti-Trump, a political podcast that talks about like politics surpassed Joe Rogan, which has a wide variety of topics and guests that he has on his show. I'm just not going to buy that. I'm going to call that bullshit. I could be wrong, but if you ask me, I think most people don't give a fuck about politics and would be more interested in like special guests and interesting people that Joe Rogan has on rather than just this like liberal podcast that talks about Trump, you know. Listening to Josh's brain rot. Well, let's rot our brains, man. Midas touch is blatant um astroturfing. I'm stupid. I don't know what astroturfing means, right? Spent like 40, 50 years. We live in an oligarchy, big money interest controls both parties. It's not that complicated. Yeah, pretty much, right? In America, if you got money, the more money you got, you could buy some freedom. If you're broke, you're not free.
That's a big fucking deal, my friends. That is a huge deal. I'm not affiliated with Midas Touch, but it is very good to see people on our side finally getting ahead of all the propaganda, getting in front of it and doing big things for the rest of us out there. But also us as a community. All these channels spread out across YouTube that are speaking common sense, that are standing up for themselves finally, because that is something that has been missing on the left for a long time, is people with a backbone and a spine to stand up for what's right and wrong. I remember when I started this channel, I was desperately waiting for somebody in my truck. I don't know why I just said that. I have no idea why that came out of my mouth. What I meant to say is I was in my truck desperately waiting for a guy like me to come along and start a YouTube channel.
Well, there's a lot of people on the left. Destiny is really big. I watch the Young Turks. I agree with some of the things that they say. I disagree with other things that they say. Um, the Young Turks, they're pretty entertaining. I think of all people on the left, the Young Turks are probably pretty poppin'. A lot of people listen to Ethan, what's his name? Ethan Klein, H3H3 podcast. He's on the left. Um, one reason why, the people on the right say it too, that it's finally our time, we're winning or whatever. And yeah, they are winning. I mean, they won the election with Trump, you know, is because the way the internet is designed, it's like this. If you're far left, you're going to get far left content on your social media feeds and on your YouTube feed. If you're far right, you're going to get far right shit recommended to you on your social media and on your YouTube feeds. And when that happens, you're going to think, oh shit, we're winning. Like we're growing. No, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all of these apps, right? These websites, they're trying to keep your attention. They want you to stay on their website for as long as they could keep you so they could make more money on their ad revenue. That's all that's happening. You're not winning. No, nothing's really happening. What's happening is that social media site has you by the balls. That's all that's happening, right? And that's why people are so biased.
And then one night it occurred to me, I'm a guy like me. As a matter of fact, I'm the most like me of any other guys out there. So that's how I ended up starting this channel, because I realized I'm a guy like me. The point of today's video is we have greatly offended MAGA yet again. They are coming out in force to show us how sad they are. And boy, are they some fucking crybabies. They cry all the goddamn time.
Yeah, I give them that. A lot of hardcore Trump supporters, they do bitch and cry a lot, and they do get offended at a lot of shit when people don't agree with their politics, just like people on the left do. Astroturfing is like saying someone is a plant in the music industry. Okay. So what are you saying? He's a political plant? Um, I don't think Josh is a political plant. I think he has a successful political YouTube channel. I think a lot of people on the left agree with him and they're subscribing to his channel because they like his messaging, you know. That's what I think is going on. And I think they like his messaging a lot more than they did on his trucking channel. I think his trucking channel was more like had a right-wing audience because the trucking industry politically is more on the right, you know. Obviously, if you start a far left YouTube channel, you're going to get a lot of far lefties just like you that fall in love with you, you know.
This is the most sensitive fucking Nazi movement I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen so many people throwing up their little Nazi salutes and then crying about their fucking feelings all the time. But
All right, so again, these people on the left calling people on the right Nazis. Hold up real quick. Look, what did I say in the beginning of this stream? On the far right, there are like actual, like real neo Nazis, like with fucking lightning bolts and the Hitler sign and all that shit, right? Like, there's obviously like hardcore far right neo Nazi white supremacists that are on Trump's side politically, but they're like far on Trump's side on the far right, you know? A lot of those people are the ones that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. A lot of those people are the ones that did that like Charlottesville neo-Nazi march or whatever. Yeah, there are those people, but not all Trump supporters are neo-Nazis. They're not. There's black people that voted for Trump. There's Mexicans that voted for Trump. Asians, people of all races voted for Trump more than they came out and voted for Kamala, right? And I'm not talking about people that would actually like wear a MAGA hat. Honestly, if you ask me, if you're going to walk outside of your house, no matter what race you are, with a MAGA hat, I think you're I think you're like hard right. I wouldn't say you're hardcore or far right, but you're pretty like hard on the right. You know what I mean? Like you're hard right enough to actually buy the MAGA hat and like wear it outside. I would never do no shit like that, you know? But what I did is I went in the booth. I mean, no. I did my mail in ballot and I voted for Trump. What a lot of people did because they didn't want Kamala as the president because they look at where she comes from California, and they look at the past 4 years under Biden, and they didn't like what was going on, so they went in the booth and they voted for Trump. That doesn't mean they're a Nazi. It doesn't. Now, Elon Musk doing his salute or whatever, yes, that was a Nazi salute. He wasn't saying from my heart to yours. And Elon Musk is not a neo-Nazi. He's not. Elon Musk is someone who likes attention. Elon did that for attention. He did that because he knows the next day the tabloids are going to be buzzing about him. And he loves attention, right? He wants all these people to go on X or just to talk about him because he could monetize it, right? He's so rich, he doesn't really give a fuck about making money. He loves the attention. That's why he did that. He did that because he's a troll, and he did that for attention to get into the tabloids, right? Um, that's how Trump became the president. I'm not calling Trump a Nazi, but Trump became president by getting all of this attention. Trump is really good on getting attention. Okay. The way that we live now in like this social media age, if you know how to get a lot of attention, you could do some shit, you know? Do I think do I think Elon Musk is a Nazi? No. This whole thing with people on the left calling people that don't agree with them Nazis, I think it's really childish. And if you ever hear someone saying that, then you know that it's really not worth it talking to politics about them because you're talking to someone who's immature, childish, irrational, and probably has some mental health issues, honestly.
That is where we're at, my friends, today in America. So, we're going to talk today about who exactly MAGA is, understanding who and what we're up against. Look, I am qualified to speak on this, my friends. I'm from the country. I'm a truck driver. I've been surrounded by people that were going to be MAGA my entire life because the MAGA movement existed long before MAGA existed. This has been something in the process for years and years. These are the people I grew up around, okay? So we're going to talk about who they are exactly and what they are. And that's going to be the point of the video. Real quick before we get into that, thank you to everyone that's helping to support the channel. We've got quite a few new channel members coming in.
He's talking about people that donate to him. He's giving them a thank you. I'm gonna skip it.
Information, and you will find my Blue Sky link where I've also passed 1,000 followers over there. That's pretty cool too, isn't it? So,
oh, Blue Sky, yeah, that's the thing that they're promoting. They don't like social media no more, so they're all running to their little echo chamber on Blue Sky because they can't stand to even like be on Facebook anymore. Facebook is like too hard right, you know what I mean? Um and like Twitter and all that, or like X or whatever the fuck. So they're all running to Blue Sky. Look, if you can't stand being on Facebook or X, why don't you just get off social media instead of running to like your little Blue Sky or whatever? It's so fucking gay, dude. Blue Sky? Fuck out of here.
if you want to join our community there, you will find the channel membership information, and you will find my Blue Sky link where I've also passed 1,000 followers over there. That's pretty cool too, isn't it? So today I want to talk about who exactly MAGA is and the people that we are going up against as we continue to put up our fight finally. And I want to say, I'm proud of fucking all of us out there. For years, they have been pushing us around, telling us that we're nothing but crybabies, we're weak, whining liberals, and it turns out they were the bitches the entire time. But that's okay. We're getting through.
Well, you guys are too. Both of you guys are. Liberals, hardcore liberals, and hardcore conservatives. You guys are all the same people. All of you guys bitch and complain and whine when you guys don't get your way. When you guys lose an election, you guys either storm the Capitol or, oh, it's Russia collusion or whatever, and you go after Trump with the justice system and all that, dude. Both of you guys are fucking stupid.
Through it. So the first observation I want to make about who MAGA is these are some of the laziest pricks I've ever met in my life. And look, I'm going to back that up with actual information, observations, things that I have seen out here. For one, if you don't have what it takes to survive in life, if you don't have that fighting spirit, that fire in your belly to get up and go after your goals, here's the easiest thing you can do in life to fucking make it not your fault anymore. Blame other groups. That's a staple of the MAGA movement now, isn't it? That's their biggest thing. They love blaming other people for their downfalls. If it's not the Mexicans taking up all their good jobs, then it's all the DEI hires still taking up all their good jobs.
Now, one thing I'll give them is I do agree with that. I do see a lot of people that are hardcore on the right. They do blame you do see it in trucking a lot. A lot of truckers blame foreigners for the reason why rates are so low and why they can't make no money. And to their credit, they might be right because the way that the foreigners roll, we've seen this, right? Especially mechanics have seen this who work on their trucks. Some of them roll 3 deep in a truck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever worked for a mega carrier. Like when I was at England, there was obviously a bunk here, a bed here, a bunk there, and another bunk above the driver's seat, you know, and they'll literally roll, which I don't know if it's legal to have someone in the top bunk. Well, there's a seatbelt up there, so it might be legal. They'll have someone driving and 2 other drivers in the bunk. And then they'll just swap seats and that truck just keeps fucking going and going and going. Right. Um, And the way that they do, the reason why foreigners get ahead and the reason why a lot of truckers complain about them and the reason why a lot of truckers can't really compete with foreigners is because a lot of them come from like communist countries to where they're more worried about what's best for the communal, what's best for their community, what's best for the commune, what's best for their group, instead of Americans that, we're individualist. We're all about our individuality. We're all about, when you're 18, you got to go out and get your own apartment. When you're 30s and 40s, that's when you got to buy your own home, have your own car. You know what I'm saying? Like have all this shit on your own, right? And that's why a lot of Americans struggle. And yeah, there's a lot of political and like, you know, oligarchy and shit that goes into that. Like, bankers and politicians, that fuck us over. They do. And, make shit really expensive and kind of turn the tables against us to where it's hard to buy a house on one income. But the reason why, these foreigners get ahead is because, when you're married, two incomes is better than one. So it makes sense to be married from a financial aspect. Just talking about that, right? I got my own opinions on marriage, but what these foreigners do, and I've said this before, they come to the country and they'll like their whole family just lives together and they pull all of their money together. And that's how they could do shit like buy a semi truck full cash, buy a Subway franchise full cash, right? Or get the loan on it and pay it down that quick, you know, pay for their daughter or their kids' college tuition like that. Because what they do is they all go out and work and they all live under the same roof, or like five or six people in this house and right next door, the same thing's going on. And they take all their money and they pull it together and they invest in their family, whether they're starting like before Uber, whether they were starting a taxi cab company, whether they were starting a trucking company, whether they were starting a convenience store. We know that the Middle Easterns own a lot of liquor stores, fucking shit like that. They're business owners. That's why Americans can't really compete against them. So yeah, I'll give Josh some credit right here. A lot of especially Trump supporters, those redneck type people, they do complain and they do blame a lot of their problems on foreigners, you know. But if people just kind of adopted that communal way. I'm not saying like communism is the answer, but the way our country's set up, if you stopped going at it by yourself and you teamed up, even just like with one or two people in your family, and you guys pulled your money together, you guys will all get ahead a lot easier, you know. But you know, then again, people on the left, they complain just as much as people on the right. They really do. I mean, Josh's whole thing is complaining about Trump.
Nowhere along the line have they put two and two together and went, fuck, I'm just an underachiever and I need to try harder. All they do is target other groups and blame them for why they're not where they want to be in life.
Kind of like Josh would always blame the trucking companies, and talk a lot of shit about them. This guy trucks, who remembers Ruth, his ex-girlfriend? I don't know. Check out Rolling with Vito. Prime terminated his lease for lack of revenue. Damn. Maybe we'll do that on the next live stream. Let me take a note of that quick. Notes for the next live stream. What's his name? Rolling with Vito? Rolling with Vito. What the fuck? Dude, this autocorrect is so stupid. Prime. Rolling with Vito next YouTube live stream. Okay, got it. Got it.
Listen, I've heard it my whole life. I've heard it my whole damn life. You know, the Mexicans come here and they take our jobs away from us, son. They take our jobs and then we get the scraps, we get what's left, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Listen, the guys out there working in those fields, the guys out there doing construction, any number of jobs, the meat packing plants, all these hard physical labor jobs, we didn't want those to begin with.
That's not true. There's a lot of Americans that do work in construction. Not a lot of them work in the fields. But here's the thing about people coming over. Okay. Not all these people coming over are working in the fields. A lot of them are. And a lot of those people who work in the fields work under H1B1 visas. You know, they have a lottery system. There's so many people that these farmers have to choose from that in these countries like Mexico, on their side, they literally have to get picked out of a lottery to come and work the field, you know, um, under H1B1 visas. Believe it or not, it's not really like a lot of illegals working out there. That shit is really enforced. A lot of these farming farming areas are in really conservative areas where in those counties they will work with ICE and they do work with ICE. Places like Bakersfield, Delano, Kern County, Tulare County, right? Even like Stanislaus County, right? The Central Valley is more like conservative. And yeah, dude, not all these illegals are coming over working the fucking fields. A lot of them are skilled labor. A lot of them come over and they do work in construction and they do work in like the trades. And because they're sending a lot of their money back home and because they're living with a lot of their family members and pulling their money together, yes, a lot of them are willing to work for lower for lower than what an American wage would be. Which is you see this a lot in non-union contractors, right? Non-union general contractors. A lot of them love hiring foreigners, you know. I've seen it, dude. I've worked in construction like what from like 18 to like my mid 20s. Nah, to like 23, I'd say for a few years I was in construction.
Those are hardworking people. My back hurts just thinking about it. We didn't want those fucking jobs.
That's true.
We just wanted the excuse. We wanted to be able to say it was someone else that was causing our problem. That way we could not have to ever take any responsibility for it. And like I said, that's the staple of the MAGA movement, is being a lazy sack of shit. So goddamn lazy that you don't feel like you're in charge of your own destiny. You can't stand up and figure out what it is you want to do in life. So instead, you just blame other groups. That's the kind of people we're up against. Sad, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. But
I give him some credit. There's some truth in that.
Very concerning part of this that I want to talk about is we have so many people in America right now that are lining up, my friends. They are lining up and cheering. What are they cheering for? Fascism. They're watching as a government comes in and starts taking away rights one by one, and they're standing there and they're cheering for it.
What rights are you talking about? What rights are they taking away? I really hope he says what rights what rights are we losing? You know, one thing I don't like that Trump did was the abortion thing. I don't think he should have ever fucked with that. You know, leave that alone. That's one thing I disagree with on the right. Pro-choice. If these like pro-lifers, if they don't want to have an abortion, they don't need to get an abortion. You know, but other people do. You know, I think that because like I got my own opinion. Like I used to be pro-life. I got to stop saying like so much. Fuck, it's annoying. I used to be pro-life, and I understand their reasoning on why they're pro-life. But the more and more I think about it, I'm pro-choice. But I do understand the pro-life side. And you know, my main reason on why I'm pro-choice, if I said it on YouTube, I would probably get canceled and I'd probably piss a lot of people off that watch my videos. So I'm going to keep that to myself. But one reason, yeah, if I said what I really think about the abortion issue, I'd probably get into a lot of trouble online just by saying like what I think, you know. But one reason why I'm pro-choice is because, dude, when you're sitting in traffic, do you really want more people around? I think there's too many fucking people as is. That's another reason why I support all this like mass deportation. Get these motherfuckers out of here, dude. There's way too many people over here. There's way too many Americans. Now you want to bring in all these foreigners? Oh, fuck that, dude. No, 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 no. You want more traffic? You know? And that's one reason why I think these pro-lifers are kind of dumb. Because it's like, don't you see how long you wait at the DMV? Now you're telling me you want more motherfuckers going to the DMV with your pro-life? Get the fuck out of here, you know?
Obviously, on the surface, that seems a little bit problematic. Now, for a while there, I was thinking, okay, they're just thinking that, and I'm not excusing this in any way, but they're just thinking, well, if they can start targeting the other groups that I don't like, that will be fine. You know, we
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? He's basically saying we need an underpaid brown slave class. Again with the white liberal hypocrisy. Yeah, you know, that's another reason why you know, I've seen it growing up in the Silicon Valley, right? I've seen these white liberals, like rich white liberals in places like Palo Alto, Mountain View, you know what I mean? Los Gatos Hills, you know, and the same thing was going on in the Pacific Palisades before it got burnt down. The same thing's going on in fucking, you know, where these rich liberal elites live. They'll literally go to Home Depot and get the day labor and have them work on their house. And dude, it's a trip when you see it, happening, when you see like this white liberal from like Palo Alto or something or Mountain View or whatever the fuck in like their $1 million home, multi-million dollar home. And they got Juan and fucking Jesus and all them and fucking, you know, they're all doing like the yard work or whatever they got them doing. Dude, it kind of looks like a slave owner. It kind of does. Like looking at it like that. Because the way these white liberals talk to these illegals that are working on their house, they talk to them like they're stupid. And dude, like they literally talk to them as if the illegal is like some little child that they gotta like micromanage and like, you know what I mean? I've seen it. I've seen this shit. And dude, I have a lot of experience with white liberals, dude. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I know where I speak and fucking I've seen that too firsthand. Yeah, dude. If you grew up in a far left area like me, Berkeley, Oakland, San Francisco, the Silicon Valley, you know what I mean? Like Mountain View, Palo Alto, shit like that, dude. If you've been around these people, you know, and you're not one of them, and I'm not some hardcore Trumper. I'm not. I'm in the middle, dude. Both sides have bullshit and both sides have valid arguments. They do. But dude, like these white liberals, dude, they really, here's the thing about racist people. Okay. Racist people don't understand that they're racist because that's just the way that they are. That's the way that their brain is wired. They don't understand that the shit that they say is racist and they don't see anything wrong with it. And in fact, if you tell them something, they'll get in your face about it. You know what I mean? Like, try telling a white liberal that they don't have white privilege, dude, and they will flip. They will flip out, dude. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, but it's also, honestly, it's kind of sick. It's kind of disgusting to see like this. Because another thing about like white liberals, dude, there's some of the snobbiest fucking people around, bro. Um, like, dude, it's all racism. Like, on one end, you got like a hardcore Trump supporter, a hardcore one that might have a Confederate flag in his front yard, you know, and might say that, oh, the Civil War was for states' rights. It wasn't about slavery, which is bullshit. It was about slavery, you know, and you know, they're using the N word and fucking might even just say some racist shit to your face, like go back to your country or Trump's going to deport you or whatever. You know what I mean? So you got that. We all know that those people exist. Duh. We hear about it all the time by people on the left, right? But what we don't hear about are racist white liberals, dude. You don't hear about that. You always hear far right. And we obviously know that there's a far right. You never hear about far left. You never hear about racist liberals, racist white liberals. You never hear about that. The media never covers that. A lot of social media never covers that, unless if you're following um, some like right-wing channels like the Daily Wire or whatever, dude, you never hear about them, dude. But I've seen it. I've seen it. It's pretty fucking disgusting. So yeah, people like Josh, they want that underpaid slave like. I'm not going to call it slavery because it's not slavery, but it definitely is kind of like a new recycled form of like semi-slavery. It's what it really is. It's a peasant class. It's peasantry. That's what it is, you know. And dude, I'm telling you, bro, these white liberals, they're so fucking racist, and they just don't get it.
We got to get the Mexicans out of here. We got to get the black population in their place. You know, we got to make sure that we have the better jobs than them. We got to get.
What are you talking about, dude? There's so many black Trump supporters. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? You know where this all comes from? This all comes from Josh just being miserable on the road, right? What he really needs to do is get his priorities straight. He has kids, and he needs to go home and raise his kids and stop with this bullshit. That's what he is. If he wants to do his political channel, do it in the bedroom of his house. At least he'll be at the house with his kids, dude. You see what I'm saying? Like how his priorities are all fucked up, dude. Like he would rather do this than go and be with his kids, than go and raise them, you know?
The DEI hires out of the way so we can finally have the good jobs, right? And what's funny now is they're getting hit by it. That's shocking now, isn't it? That they're getting hit by it. No, we all saw that coming is the answer. But anyways, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here because I had a point with that. But we are witnessing people line up to have their rights taken away from them by the government. And they're cheering it on and they're celebrating it. Do you know why, in my honest opinion? Is because they're so weak. They don't have what it takes to be competitive in life. They are just begging for a government to take control and tell them what it is they're going to do. Tell them how much money they can make. Tell them what they can own. And if you think,
well, isn't that what the left wants? They want universal basic income. Bro, you still here talking about this guy? What the fuck are you doing with your life? I know, dude, it's late. I got to get off this thing pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, that's what the left wants. They've been talking about universal basic income.
think I'm fucking wrong, then look at all the farmers right now that are fucking losing their minds because they're going to lose their farms. They voted for this.
It's not true. They're not going to lose their farms. They're not. Elon Musk he was in opposition of Trump talking about he wants more H-1B1 visas, dude. The farmers are not going to run out of workers. They're not. They're not, dude. It gets to the point where these people on the left, they make up straight lies and they believe lies that the left-wing media is telling them, right? It's bullshit, dude. Like all of this, you know, what I'll give them is people like Alex Jones, they push a lot of conspiracy theories, you know? A lot of right wingers do believe in a lot of stupid conspiracy theories. Like some of them really think like we didn't land on the moon or whatever. Fucking, you know, just crazy shit, you know, out there shit, you know. But so do people on the left. A lot of people on the left, when they don't get their way politically, they turn into the conspiracy theorists. They're all fucking stupid.
They said, I want Donald Trump to come in here and I want him to, first of all, I want him to get rid of my migrant labor. You know, the other people that I exploit for cheap labor so that I can keep my farm alive. They asked for that to go away. And look, I would understand it if it was a humanitarian thing. Like, look, this country is taking advantage of people from poorer countries and we shouldn't do that anymore. That would be a good reason now, wouldn't it? Sure, it would. But that's not how migrant labor is viewed. Migrant labor is viewed as cheap labor so we can keep our farms going. But they wanted that taken away from them. That doesn't make a whole lot.
No, dude, he's making up lies. That's not what's going on, dude. That's not what's going on. They're going after criminals, you know, gangs, drug dealers, cartels. If you leave it up to people like Josh, then the United States turns into Mexico. Then the cartels take over. They take over the streets. We have gangs like MS-13 and TDA and, you know, the Sureños and fucking 18th Street and all kind of shit, right? Latin Kings, all these kind of gangs, we have them running rampant throughout the country, committing so much crime to the point where you'll be driving down like Highway 5, or I'm serious, right? You'll be driving through like a desert area like Lancaster, and it can get so bad that you'll see beheaded bodies hanging from an overpass with the cartel sign threatening the community, you know? It's dude, the farmers are not going to run out of workers. This is fucking retarded.
A lot of sense, right? And then if you go look at Project 2025, which I've looked at only a little bit, but I've gathered the bits and pieces that I need to from the internet, the farmland agriculture was in the plan the entire time to take away the land and get it sold off to big agriculture out there. And we know that JD Vance, he either owns or is a partner or part ownership in an app called Acre Trader, which helps investors buy up farmland. So if you had done a little bit of research, if you had read just a little bit, you knew all along as a farmer that the plan was to take your farm away, and you voted for it. So the only solution I can come up with that is that you wanted this to happen. You got tired of calling the shots on your own farm. You got tired of being the boss. You got tired of being the big dog out there. So what you wanted was a hostile government takeover by billionaires to come in and take your land in the hopes that you could just go back to being an employee.
Look, I'm pretty sure JD Vance, for him to make that claim, I'm willing to bet he did some research. JD Vance probably is an investor in an app with, investing in farmland or whatever. I seriously doubt Trump is going to forcefully take this. So what Josh is saying is this. Josh is saying that Trump is going to come in with force and take over farmland. Like if I own a farm, the Trump administration or whatever, the feds are going to come in and seize my land and take it and force me to sell the land like a mandatory buyback program of my farmland. I doubt that's going to happen. That sounds like some conspiracy shit, you know? Yeah, I'm sure they're investing in open acreage or whatever, but they're not going to come take your fucking farm. They're not. It's fucking, you know what can happen? What has happened already under Democrats and Republicans, right? That's been going on since Bill Clinton is big agriculture. They've become so big to where they just put these small farmers out of business. And you see it when you drive through Kansas, Oklahoma, fucking Iowa, like you drive through Kansas and you're driving through just these towns where they're just like ghost towns where they were probably once a small farming community, but you're on your way to like Cargill or like Tyson or something to drop off your meat load at like some slaughter facility or some poultry facility or something. And on your way over there, it's just like open land. You know what I mean? Those are the people that they put out of business. But they're not going to come and take your land, dude. This is stupid.
Because you didn't have what it takes to run that fucking place. You didn't have that fire in your belly. You didn't want to run it anymore. So you asked and you voted. You voted for the government to bankrupt your family farm that has been in your family for generations and generations, just because you didn't want to be the boss anymore. And if I'm wrong about that, then why did they vote for it? Why did they vote for the person that said that was going to happen to them? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense now, does it? So when I start saying these things out loud, I start figuring out exactly who MAGA is. Exactly what I said at the beginning of the video. The laziest people in our entire population. They don't want to work for what they have. Look, you see it all the time out here in trucking. Oh,
well, what about the people that voted for Kamala? A lot of them are on government assistance. A lot of them live in Section 8 housing. A lot of them literally don't work and milk the system. Okay. So what do you so what, people on the left don't do that as well?
heaven help you if you see a Middle Eastern trucker out here. We got a lot of Middle Eastern truckers. Boy, those white truckers are relentless, talking about how they're fucking up their lives, and they're doing all these things that are making their lives harder. And if they would just go away, everything would be better. Well, let me tell you from a trucker's perspective, I can't understand why there is a single trucker for Trump left. Only thing I can come up with is because they wanted to be an employee. They didn't want to be the boss anymore. Because under Donald Trump, with his failed administration, with his failed response to COVID, his crashing of the economy, his destruction of the supply chain, tens of thousands of independent truckers lost their business under Donald Trump. Do you know what that did? That kicked open the door to what the truckers refer to as mega carriers. Mega carriers, the large corporations out here that have 20, 30, 40,000 trucks.
What is Josh talking about? What is Josh talking about? How is that Trump's fault? Truckers were making all of the money under 2020, in the year 2020, because of COVID. That's when truckers were making all their money. That doesn't really have anything to do with Trump. It doesn't. It doesn't, dude. If Joe Biden was in office, he would have done a lockdown too. Or it would have been like Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton was in, she would have done a lockdown too. In fact, she would have done a lockdown a lot longer than Donald Trump did. I mean, look what Gavin Newsom did. If you guys want to know what a Democrat president would have done with COVID, look at California. You'd have been on lockdown damn near for a whole fucking year. That's what would have happened to the country. Okay? So all this like Trump mismanaged it. No, it was a fucking pandemic. So how do what is he talking about? Trucking companies, small owner operators went out of business because of Trump? No, dude, what happened didn't have anything to do with whoever was in office. The country went into lockdown. People were at home buying shit, which made, the cost of freight go up because they were so busy because everyone was at home with these stimulus checks or their savings or just whatever, and they were stuck at the house and they were buying shit like crazy. So you had shit like $4 or $5 a mile out of the ports, out of shippers and receivers, you know, and then everyone was seeing this, so everyone rushed to get a CDO and become a trucker and become an owner operator. Once that was no longer the case and the world went back to normal, all of a sudden, supply and demand, there's this big supply of truck drivers, but the demand came down as people left their house and went back to work. That's why they went out of business. It doesn't really have anything to do with Trump. I wonder if Josh is trolling. I wonder if Josh is like, he could be really smart. This is a conspiracy theory. This is an actual conspiracy theory. Josh could really just be gaming these people up to get reactions. Like he could just be pandering to the far left to grow a YouTube channel, That could be what's happening. I don't think so. I think Josh actually believes in everything that he's saying.
Trucks. They can all run that truck at a lower cost because they're running so many of them. As an independent owner operator, you need to run that truck at a higher cost because you have to take care of your bills at home. You have to take care of the payments for your truck. You have to take care of your truck repairs. So you demand a higher cost to keep your business running. So what Donald Trump did with his failed administration was put, I'd say tens of thousands. I don't have the number in front of me. At least thousands of independent truck drivers out of business, where they came back 4 years later and they celebrated. They said, I want Donald Trump. Bring back Donald Trump because life was good under Donald Trump. No, the fuck it wasn't. What was good about it, though? Are you guys starting to put this all together? Are you starting to see?
Gas was a lot cheaper. For sure, gas was a lot cheaper under Donald Trump. That was the main thing. And under Joe Biden, prices did go up with food because he started raising taxes. And when you raise taxes, everything goes up. The price of gas goes up. He stopped the Keystone Pipeline. He put an end to that. He put an end to the border wall. He allowed all of these illegals to come over the border. He had an unchecked border. Yeah, literally things were a lot more better under Trump. Socially, they weren't because the left was really coming at him. especially with the whole thing. Like they were really hammering on just calling him a racist, and it worked to the point where he lost the election. But financially, no, financially things were a lot better under Trump. People had a lot more spending power under Donald Trump versus Joe Biden.
See where I'm going with this? What was good about it is they no longer had to be in charge. They just needed someone to tell them what to do, and they were happy, content little employees. MAGA movement, Nazi movement as it may be, is the laziest, sloppiest Nazis we've ever seen in the history of fucking the world. They just want to be told what to do. They are begging for somebody to tell them what it is they need to do because they don't have the direction in their life to figure it out for them fucking selves. These guys can't even afford bootstraps to pull up. They don't have what it takes. And everything I've seen so far has led into exactly that. They just want the government to tell them what to do. That's it. That's where the fuck they're at. And there is no argument to that. We've been making them real grumpy, though, down there in the comments as they come here to say stupid shit to us over and fucking over. But there is no argument to that. They voted for that. Executive orders, love them. Executive orders. How Donald Trump is trying to take away power from the other branches of government. They love it. When Donald Trump writes an executive order removing an amendment from the Constitution, which luckily is getting challenged in the courts, hopefully we fucking win that one, they love it.
Birthright citizenship. It's because they're abusing it. That's why. Look, I'm gonna get up off here, but before I do, we're gonna end it with one of Tommy's videos covering him. Can't be trusted. Is lying to everyone. Okay. All right. Yeah, dude, the whole vandalism thing is kind of crazy with Just Trucking. How he fucked up his own truck and his wife tried to blame it on Tommy. That's that's fucking nuts, dude. That is fucking insane. I think he covered him pretty good in this video. We're gonna watch this because he covered it pretty good. And I'm gonna get the fuck up off here. Gotta go to bed.
This guy trucks, now known as the enemy from within, because he abandoned his trucking channel and all the fans he had over there. He timed this perfectly, right? He's a flaming liberal, right? Or he plays one on TV anyway. He plays one on YouTube. So he timed his new channel perfectly with the inauguration of Trump, right? With the election. I think he started the channel right around the election. So it looks like his first video that he posted, or at least the first one that is still public, was November 14th. It's called Democrat Trucker Reacts to Donald Trump Winning the Election, right? So
right then and there, you know that he's biased if he's calling himself a Democrat. I would never call myself a Republican. Look, I'll admit this, right? When I lived in Nevada, I did go kind of hard right. I did fall down a political rabbit hole for a little bit. Worse than that, I kind of even fell down. Oh God, it's so embarrassing. I kind of fell down the whole like red pill rabbit hole for a little bit. That's really embarrassing to admit that, you know. But you live and you learn. I was in my later mid-20s. I would never call myself a Republican or like a Democrat. It's just so stupid,
he was spouting off about how Donald Trump was going to end Medicare and Medicaid. Listen, the Medicare portals did go down, but the memo, the executive order and the memo that you guys are referring to that put a freeze on federal funding actually came out days before the Medicare portals went down. So you guys saying that the day he signed the order was the day that the Medicaid portals went down, and then saying that a judge blocked his trying to make the Medicare portals go down, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. It happened on a totally different day. The order was signed on a different day than when the portals went down for the day. And the portals didn't magically open back up because some judge ruled somewhere that they had to. They were never supposed to be down. It was just a glitch in the system. Also, he was.
I don't know if that's true, but this is why I do reaction content, and this is why people do reaction content, because other people are like more up on shit, you know. Yeah, I could sit here and fact check all day, but if I did that, we'd be here all fucking day, dude.
Spouting off in one of his videos saying that Donald Trump wanted to get rid of your food stamps and your Section 8 housing. Not true at all.
I hear that to this day. A lot of people that I know and that I know of, they're saying Donald Trump's going to cut this program. He's going to cut that. He's going to cut that. He's going to cut that. He's going to cut your EBT. He's going to cut your Section 8 and all that. I think they were even saying that under George Bush, honestly.
Programs were explicitly excluded from the federal funding freeze.
And honestly, some of these motherfuckers who live on government programs, some of them can fucking work. You know, I understand if you have like a sick family member or like a handicapped child and you need to like take care of them. That's what the assistance should be for. It's for people like that. You know, but you know, some of these broads who have like kids and have kids just so they could get like another check off of them, it's pretty fucking low. And there's people do that. You know what I mean? Those type of motherfuckers. Dude, I can give my opinion.
All you had to do was go to the whitehouse.gov and read the order. That's all you had to do. But no, people like this guy Trucks, old Josh over there, he doesn't go to the government website. He spouts off bullshit that he hears on other left-leaning news outlets and left-leaning podcasters, right? So I got in the comment section and I was trying to correct him. I was trying to point out the fact that, dude, you're spreading shit that's not true. You are telling stories about your opinion, but you're stating them as they are fact, but they are not fact. And you're preying on the fear and the uneducated people that are left of center anyway, or actually extreme left, right?
And there's a lot of people like that. A lot of these people on the left are very uneducated. They take what other people say is fact and then they just fucking run with it. You know why they do that? Because a lot of people that are political, left or right, they're fucking stupid. You know what was going on under Trump, under when the George Floyd riots were happening? And they still say it sometimes. People on the left, I mainly hear it from people on the right. They think that we're going to have a civil war. If you think our government's going to allow people to have a civil war in the streets, you got another thing coming, right? People who say shit like that have never been in trouble with the law. There's not going to be a civil war. That's fucking stupid. They will lock you up. That's what they'll do. If you try to do a civil war, you're going to go to prison. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be no fucking civil war. Political people are fucking retarded.
Because your comment section is full of the extremies, I'm going to call them, the loonies, right? And what's funny is I noticed your comment section has like 0 people arguing with you, 0 people telling you you're wrong, right? Can 99 to 100% of comments on a video, as many views as you're getting, can they all be agreeing with you? Nope. I don't know, because what happened to my comments? Yeah, you deleted my comment and then blocked me from being able to comment on the channel. You hid me from the channel, right, Josh? Because people like you don't want to be challenged. People like you don't want your fans and followers to know that you are a liar. You've been one of the biggest liars on YouTube for the last 5 years, and you're going to continue to be the biggest liar on YouTube for the next 5 years. I mean, on one level, I wish you luck, Josh.
Do you guys think fucking Josh is like lying to people deliberately just to get views? Could be, right? A lot of people do that on YouTube. I mean, it works, dude. People are just fucking dumb.
I hope that this channel gets to 100,000 subscribers, and I hope it supports you because you're going batshit crazy in this truck. Batshit crazy. Now, you shouldn't even be in the truck, right? You really shouldn't even be in the truck. You've spent 10 years in that truck and have zero to show for it. Absolutely zero.
Yeah, fuck. And you know what, man? You know what scares me, honestly, is that happening to me. Like all bullshit aside, one thing that this guy Trucks does for me is he kind of scares me that that can happen to me. That 10 years can go by. I could be in the truck and not have anything to show for. That happens to a lot of truckers. A lot of truckers, they work their whole career and retire with nothing, you know. Company and owner operators, company drivers and owner operators alike. Um yeah, that's one thing that scares me is that I can end up like him. Like I don't think I would have a bunch of kids that I can't afford, but I think I could end up in a situation where, I've been a trucker for so long and I don't have anything to show for. That's pretty scary to think about.
As a matter of fact, I just looked up your Social Blade, and Social Blade is pretty much right on when it comes to how many views a person has. So I looked up how many views you've had in the last 30 days, Josh. 400,000 views. I think you beat your buddy, Just Trucking. Just Trucking got about 250,000 views for the last 30 days. Now, to be fair, he did stop posting for about 10 days because he was supposedly sick, right? Supposedly he was too sick to post any videos. He was too sick to make a community post. He was too sick to comment back to any of the commenters that were concerned about him. But why would a narcissist care about his fans and viewers? Why would he keep them updated when dozens, if not hundreds of people were commenting on Just Trucking's videos asking, hey, is everything okay? Is the family okay? Where are you? He didn't tell nobody. He just showed up one day with a live stream after 10 days of being gone. You're going to tell me you couldn't even type a response to your people? Yeah. All you guys are just scumbag narcissists. That's all you are. All you care about is the views, man. The views and the money that it brings you. That's all you care about.
Well, is there anything else to really worry about when you're a YouTuber? I mean, when we all start our YouTube channel, we're doing it to grow big on YouTube, to get views, and ultimately to make money. I don't think you have to outright be a dick to your subscribers. I talk shit to my subscribers that talk shit to me first. I don't know. I mean, this whole thing with like trying to be like the nice guy on YouTube, I don't think I'm that.
That's why you guys do anything to build an audience. It doesn't matter how dishonest you are, doesn't matter how misleading you are or how fake you are. Now, let me remind all your new subscribers on your new channel that for years.
So, that's one thing I do agree with. I don't think you need to be fake. Something about me tells me that Alex Nino is really fake, you know. Like this whole like thing, like when you see YouTubers that are always happy like that. For example, Naya, Roadrunner Naya, she doesn't seem like a fake YouTuber. She doesn't. I mean, you definitely see her on her channel when she's up or down. You know what I'm saying? Alex Nino, it seems like, hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. Welcome back to another trucking vlog. Let's go, guys. It seems kind of fake to the point where it seems a little cringy. You know what I'm saying? That I agree with. I don't like watching fake motherfuckers on YouTube, no matter what they are, no matter if they're like left wing, right wing, van life YouTuber, a podcaster, a trucking channel. That's why I don't watch Mr. Beast and shit like Mr. Beast. That's why I don't watch a lot of these like stupid ass like street interviews when these dudes like walk up to some chick and it's like, or they walk up to people in the mall or outside of a bar and they ask them just stupid fucking questions. You know, it's dumb. It's dumb and it's a little corny and cringy. So I agree with the whole thing with you don't got to be fake to grow a YouTube channel.
Honest you are, doesn't matter how misleading you are or how fake you are. Now, let me remind all your new subscribers on your new channel that for years and years on your trucking channels, you've reminded us that somewhere between 50 and 90% of your content is satire. Yeah, satire. So you've gotten what? 405,000 views in the last 30 days, Josh? 405,000 at, let's say, a half a penny per view. Let's just say half a penny. That's like bottom of the barrel general vlog. Now you're probably making more money than that, Josh, because you have a high paying niche or niche, however you want to say it. I'm sure the political niche is a higher paying niche than trucking is. So I'm going to go off of what I make usually off of view, which is sometimes I make 8 cents, 8/10 of a penny. Sometimes I make a full penny per view. But I would say on average, the channel is getting 0.5 cents, right? So at that metric times 0.005, you've made $2,025 in the last 30 days, Josh. $2,025, Josh. Get her done, man.
How much money? I was reading the comments. Roadrunner Naya's last video, Prime Inc. asked her how much she makes on YouTube. She left after that. Well, I think she also left because the whole like $900, like they were going to charge her $900 for a fuck up on their end. I don't think he's lying about his political views. It's possible. I believe he, like many people, are knee deep into this. They are just very inflated with the point of view that's exaggerated to the extreme. And like many people who are deep into the politics, they make it their religion. Oh, God. Yeah, dude, they really do, bro. Fucking those people who make politics like them, it's because they don't have nothing else. I would never want to be with like marry a hardcore political broad, dude. I could never do no shit like that.
$2,025, Josh.
So he made like $2,000 last month on YouTube. That's probably more than what he made on fucking trucking, honestly. For the amount of work, because he doesn't put a lot of work into his YouTube channel. That's the thing that I'm jealous about Josh about, dude. He just literally puts a camera on him and starts talking. I don't got that gift. You know, people don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck about me that much to where I could just blah 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 blah. Trump, fuck Trump, or fuck Kamala or whoever, and just get money like that. I don't got that gift, dude.
Get her done, man. No wonder you're lying through your teeth on this political channel, because it's paying off. It really is paying off. That's good.
Yeah, if Trump's saying, I mean, if Josh is saying that Trump is going to cut EBT, I wonder if he's just straight out just pandering at that point, you know?
For you, Josh. I'm happy for you. I really am. But listen, you don't have to delete people like me out of the comment section. You don't have to block people like me from being able to comment. Why don't you want to be challenged, Josh? How come the biggest fake people on YouTube don't want to be challenged? Huh? Just Trucking doesn't want to be challenged in the comment section.
Yeah, you know who else does this? Or like these celebrities? You go on their Instagram, and you always see like comments on this post have been limited. And their comment section is only people that praise them. It's so narcissistic, dude. It's so fucking narcissistic, right? I guarantee you Oprah has that. You know how all the right wingers are coming after Oprah, or just a lot of people are coming after Oprah because they're saying she's in it with P Diddy or whatever. She fucking turned her comments off, dude. Look at that. Oprah turned her comments all the way off. You can't even comment on Oprah. You know? Look, Oprah turned her shit all the way off. You can't even fucking comment on Oprah. Her whole... Oh, okay. Oh, look, you could comment right here. This post you could comment. It's something about marriage. You could comment. But notice how if you go on Oprah's Instagram, the only comments on the people that the only comments on Oprah's Instagram are people that are agreeing with her, right? It's she did a post about being married, right? You could leave a comment. Look at that. You could leave a comment. I'm gonna leave a comment. I'll be like, "Hey Oprah, what should I say?" I'm gonna troll Oprah right now. Hey Oprah, looks like they're gonna have a no. I want to say something good. You know, I want her to block me or something. All right. Diddy says he misses you. Diddy says he misses you. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Look, on Oprah. I just trolled Oprah right now. Right? I'm not against being a troll. Diddy said he misses you on Oprah. Guarantee you she's gonna delete that comment. So narcissistic, dude.
Gentry and Sons, FSC Trucking, Wildbeard. They all don't want to be challenged in the comment section because they know they're full of shit and they don't want to be exposed. That's why. And so in our last back and forth on the comments, Josh, you said I was really dumb, I was stupid, and I was a loser. Crazy. That's crazy you would talk to somebody like that. And I put this in my comment, and this is why you deleted me.
You guys think Josh would say that to Tommy's face? Honestly, part of me thinks that Josh actually would say that to Tommy's face. I actually think that Josh is like a very problematic guy. I think the shit that Josh talks on the internet, I actually think Josh would back it up in real life. I think Josh is the type of person that would get himself into a lot of trouble in real life. I don't think Josh is like a pussy. I don't think he's the type of guy that would only talk shit online and never say it to your face. I definitely think Josh would say a lot of shit to your face. Especially for the fact that he's like hardcore political. A lot of those hardcore political people like that, they do shit in real life, you know? And a lot of them have never been in trouble with the law, right? Some of them have, but some of them are just problematic people. I think Josh would say it to Tommy's face, and I think Josh would get himself in a lot of trouble.
I told you in my comment, I said, now I see why people want to catch you on the fuel island, right? You can't just argue good arguments. You can't just state your case or prove what you're saying by showing me a link. What you do is you have to call me dumb and stupid. And then you called me a loser because I make videos about how much other YouTubers make on YouTube. I'm a loser because of that, right? I'm a loser because of my reaction content, right? Josh, I'll explain this to you in a video just like I explained to you in the comment section. Somebody that's scared of their own shadow and it has said a million times they are not willing to fight. They are not a fighter. They do not believe anybody should get physical. Why would you be disrespecting people by calling them names?
Josh said that, but honestly, no. I think Josh would get physical in real life. I think Josh has the potential to get himself into a lot of trouble, like end up in jail for assault or something. You know, I definitely like. You know what Josh kind of reminds me of a little bit, kind of like Wes Watson. You know, I kind of get Wes Watson vibes from Josh, just from like a different perspective. You know, like not that he's like an alpha male or whatever. Josh is obviously not jacked like Wes Watson, but he kind of has that same like "fuck you, say it to my face" type of attitude. Um, this guy trucks.
Now, I personally don't think we need to be fighting over anything either. Like, words are just words. But coming from somebody that has let it be known to the whole world that you're the biggest pussy that's ever walked the face of the planet, or one of them at least, probably top 5 pussies. It's just strange that you would be hiding behind that keyboard running your mouth the way you run. You don't have to call me a loser, and you don't have to call me stupid and dumb to prove a point to me, to win your argument. All you got to do is prove what you're saying is true. Prove that Donald Trump froze funding to food stamps.
Well, the thing is, a lot of these people that are hardcore political, they're also hardcore emotional. And a lot of these people, on the left especially, you know, they come from a place of emotion and not really all the time from a place of logic. Sometimes they come from a place of logic, you know, but for the most part, a lot of them are just really emotionally into their shit.
Prove it. You can't prove it though. Your channel isn't about proving anything. Your channel is not about backing up anything you're saying with facts. It's not about that. Your channel is about dividing people, getting people scared, making people mad. Yeah, that's all your channel's about, Josh. You call me uh, a loser for making reaction content about other YouTubers, but your whole channel is built on fear mongering and trying to divide one side from the other. I'm just calling it like I see it, man. If you like conversations like this, subscribe to the channel for me.
Yeah, definitely go check out Trucking Unfiltered. This is where I get a lot of like my ideas for trucking to like react to shit because he watches trucking content. I really don't watch it. And then also, before I head out, definitely go check out what the fuck? Where's he at? Enemy from Within. Where'd you go? Don't tell me this fucker blocked me. No, no. This guy trucks. No, don't tell me he blocked me from his political channel. Don't tell me.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Sorry.
No, don't block me, dude. Eating the cats. Let's see. Oh, okay. He didn't block me. I thought he blocked me or something because he might have been watching or whatever. Videos, live, latest, lazies. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so definitely go check out The Enemy from Within. It's also at Eating the Cats if you want to talk about politics with this guy trucks. He is far left and I'll end it with this. What's up with Roadrunner Naya? What's up with Roadrunner Naya? Roadrunner. What happened to her? She fucking. What did she do? Last load with Prime Inc. Yeah, I think she left because Prime made her pay $900 for like a fuck up that they did. Um, This guy trucks is a good example of what happens to a lot of truckers. A lot of truckers end up miserable, broke, and with nothing to show for. You know, I criticize this industry a lot. This industry does have a lot of flaws. It can be better. It should be better. It needs to be better. I do think um, there is a space for a trucking union. I think some of these mega carriers should unionize. I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's too hard to unionize something like trucking. It's not impossible, but I do think that there needs to be some more unionization in trucking because these, especially the mega carriers, they're making so much money off of pretty much underpaying the drivers, right? And they're diversified. These mega carriers, dude, they act like they're their own broker, they're their own insurer, they're their own real estate company. Like they're actually like they're so diversified, you know. They make money off of many avenues, right? They have many income streams in these mega carriers like night transportation. They make money off the real estate they buy, off of buying these other trucking companies and like the deals that they cut when they buy these companies. It's fucking insane, right? How much money they have. These mega carriers have, like Mr. By the Mile says, he's a hardcore union trucking YouTuber. These mega carriers, they do have your pension. They have your raises, your paid health care. They have all that. You see it with the huge night terminal with their basketball court and with all their property and real estate and all the trucking companies they're buying. That's the money that they're not paying you. That's you being underpaid, you know? But also, you can only sit back and bitch about it for so long until you take action and do something else. I've been taking action. I've been applying for places. But what happens to a lot of truckers is they end up just like this guy trucks. They end up just like Josh. They end up out here for years and years, dude, running for 10 years, and they don't have nothing to show for it. And what do? They end up turning into like a hardcore Trump supporter, or very rarely, I won't say all the time, or sometimes they could go on the other side of the political spectrum and end up far left. Both of these people, the hardcore Trump supporters that want to deport everybody, and then the hardcore lefties that are are just like a far left idiot, both of them are miserable people. And a lot of truck drivers end up like that. A lot of truck drivers end up miserable. My advice is the same advice that I gave the last time I gave this guy trucks some advice in a video. The last time I covered him, Josh needs to go home. Josh needs to get off of over the road. He made videos talking about how he wasn't with his kids for the past 10 years and he wasn't there to see them grow up. I think it'd be really selfish of Josh to let another 10 years go by and for that to happen again. If I had kids, I would not be out here. I'd be at home with my family if I had kids like that. If I had kids and a wife, like at that point, dude, you're pretty much making your wife kind of like a half-ass single mom at that point because you're not there. You're not there when you're needed, like when someone might be lurking outside of your property. Like you're the dad, dude. You're the protector of your family. What the fuck are you doing on the road talking about politics? Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Your priorities are so ass backwards. I think Josh definitely needs to go home, get a local trucking job, or just get out of trucking altogether. I know it could be hard to get into local trucking. Josh made videos talking about how he doesn't like doing local trucking because he didn't get his CDL to work hard, like physically hard, like Cisco or US Foods or whatever. And he doesn't like running day cabs. He doesn't like the commute to work. He likes staying in his sleeper. And someone else in the chat was talking about how OTR truckers can't hold down normal jobs because they get so used to just being in the sleeper and just working like this to the point where they don't do good in normal jobs. At the end of the day, dude, we're all grown adults out here. We're men. We have responsibilities. And especially if you have kids, you got responsibilities, you know? So that's my advice. People have been wanting me to cover This Guy Trucks or The Enemy from Within. I don't know whether he's trolling. I don't know whether this is a character that he's playing or if he really believes in his politics. I actually think that he really does believe in his politics and he's far left and he's just kind of stupid and his priorities are not where they need to be. I think if he has kids like that, that's where his priority should be. His priority should be being there with his kids, not being an OTR truck driver. With that being said, be sure to smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. Peace out. I got to go. See you in the next live stream.